Hi guys, it's Debbie, and today I wanted to speak about Arrival, a film which I found absolutely amazing. It is a new science fiction film based on a short story called Story of Your Life, written by Ted Chiang. The title of the film was changed into Arrival because the plot of the film diverted from the short story, and also according to the director Villeneuve, Story of Your Life sounded more like a romantic comedy. The film is about the arrival on Earth of 12 mysterious extraterrestrial spacecrafts, but instead of focusing on the possible war between humans and aliens, the film analyses the contact between humans and extraterrestrials, the interaction between the two species, and the consequences of their communications. One of the main characters is a linguist, Louise Banks, portrayed by Amy Adams. She is contacted by Colonel Webber of the United States Army, which asks her to help him in communicating with the aliens inside these mysterious pods. Louise is chosen because she is an exceptional linguist, and also in the past she has helped Colonel Webber in other missions. The other main character is Ian Donnelly, a theoretical physicist portrayed by Jeremy Renner. The aliens speak an incomprehensible language. They give no clue as to whether they are planning an attack or if they have a peaceful purpose on this planet. Most of the people on Ian and Louise's team, as well as the teams in all the other different parts of the world where the pods have landed, see the aliens as an enemy and try to interpret their language using conventional methods. Ian and Louise instead don't see the aliens as a threat, and they regularly enter the pod without any protection and try to establish a form of communication with these aliens, while in the meanwhile politicians all over the world are desperate for answers to give to extremely distressed citizens. Louise Banks learns of the arrival of these extraterrestrial pods within minutes from the beginning of the film and is contacted by Colonel Webber just after that, so we don't actually get to see her character during the opening of the film, as she is quickly rushed to the pod without any explanation of what exactly is happening. At first I didn't really appreciate the director's choice here, but after I realised in the eventuality of an alien invasion actually happening, nobody would have time to stop and give detailed explanations. Anybody considered vitally important for a mission would be quickly whisked off to the site in order to obtain answers as fast as possible. Louise's character is then deeply analysed during the film, mostly throughout her efforts of communicating with the aliens and her work with Ian. Arrival positively surprised me, probably because of years of sci-fi films about alien invasions, which focused mostly on the combat between our race and the extraterrestrial race, without giving too much importance to the interactions with the aliens. On the contrary, Arrival is all about interacting with the aliens, understanding their purpose on Earth, and treating them more like visitors than actual enemies. Also, the film underlines how violent the human race can be, how impulsive it can be, how it immediately marks its territory and sees anything unusual as a threat. Humans consider themselves the masters of the universe, where in reality we are just a speck of dust in an infinite stretch of space. All of this is underlined in the film by the fact that the people in the film are not frightened because of an actual threat, but they are frightened because of the fact that they don't understand. The pods are these silent, smooth spacecrafts which emit no radiation. The aliens don't attack and don't do much actually. Their language is incomprehensible, and the humans seem to be more scared of all of this, not because of an actual threat, but because they don't understand. There's too much mystery. They just assume that there must be something wrong about this. And this explains a lot about how sometimes we treat people or situations which are completely different from us and our lifestyle. And let's just take a look at the aliens. They are some frightening creatures which have just mysteriously arrived from a remote corner of the universe, and yet they manage to calmly communicate with human beings which are totally different from them. They speak a completely different language, and they do all of this peacefully without any violence, while in the meanwhile, half a mile away in a military tent, army generals are screaming orders into the faces of people of their same species, loading weapons ready to defend their country, their world and their universe. Arrival still gives us all the classic elements of a sci-fi film about an alien invasion. So for example, we have the spacecrafts which land in different locations covering all of the world leaders on the phone greedily asking for an answer, the over-the-top combat equipment, and the small group of heroes which understand understands the real purpose of the visitors on this planet. But it leaves all of this in the background and it focuses on analysing the interactions with the aliens. Let me know what you thought about Arrival, if it positively surprised you like it did with me, or if you would have preferred a different approach to the topic. And I'll see you soon in a new video. Bye!